guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be building and reviewing the Lego Game Boy. This Lego set is retailed for about $60 and it came out on October 1st of 2025. This Lego set has 421 pieces. It is recommended ages 18 and up, and it is set number 72046. Now let's review the box. On the back of the box you can see the Game Boy. It is currently playing one of the levels that is shown right here. At the top of the box, it says it is 5.5 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide. There is 2 images on the bottom of the box. You can see that one of the images, they are popping these cartridges games inside so you can play. And these cartridge games include Zelda and Super Mario Land. On the side of the box, you can see the cartridge games again. It says Nintendo Game Boy right at the top. And yeah, at the bottom you can see the Game Boy, and I'm really excited about building this Lego set, so let's get to building this. Okay guys, let's get to opening this box. Let's get to reviewing what is inside. First, we have these 2 stickers from the cartridge games. First, it has Super Mario Land and The Legend of Zelda. We have this bag, which is going to be used in the set. I don't really know what it is so far. We have the instructions manual. Pretty cool. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags. Alright, now that we know what is inside, let's get to building this. Okay guys, now that we are done building the Lego Game Boy, let's go ahead and start reviewing what is included with it. The first thing that we're going to start reviewing is the game cartridges that are included with the Game Boy, starting off with the Legend of Zelda, which I think it looks amazing. It has its own stand, and the way you connect it to the stand is that it has these 2 pieces, and at the bottom it has these other 2 ridges, and all you have to do is just pop them on for it to be held just like that all around. And I think that they did a pretty great job seeing how the old Game Boy cartridges games are, and I personally like this one. The second game that is included within the Game Boy is Super Mario Land, which I've never played. I've played Zelda before, but I've never played this one, and I think that it looks really good. Seeing how well these stickers are put together on the game cartridges, because on the normal cartridges for the Game Boy itself, they are also stickers, so I think this is a really cool detail that they included, and at the top it says Nintendo Game Boy. Now we are going to be reviewing the Game Boy. The Game Boy itself looks really amazing. On the back I haven't put in any cartridge games yet, but we're going to first review the Game Boy. It has its own stand as well. This is the stand, pretty simple, and the way it stands is that it has this hole at the bottom, which is also an iPhone jack that you could connect your headphones to, and all you have to do is just set that on there and lean it back, and there you go, there's your own stand for the Game Boy. The Game Boy has a lot of really cool details that are included, such as the select and start features right at the bottom. You can click them. The keypad, I think they did that one really well. You can move it around. And what stood out to me is that the buttons A and B and the keypad itself, they're not put on another piece, but are actually just being held down by a bunch of tiles. As you can see right here, this keypad, for example, is being held down by these tiles and is not actually connected to any pieces underneath. It's the same thing with these buttons. You could click them as well, which is a really cool detail that they included within the Game Boy, Nintendo Game Boy. Right here we have the battery life at the top. Another really cool detail that stood out to me is the on and off button, which is you can actually use it, which is really cool from the original Game Boy. But the only thing that I suggest that they should have done is they should have filled in the gap, so it's not just all empty in there. But besides that, I think that is really cool that they included that. Another detail that is included with the Game Boy is that it has a volume button, which you can turn, which is really cool. In my opinion, the connector, it does not come out, it is not push in, it is just there for show. And on the other side, we have the contrast, which is basically the same as the volume, but it's the contrast instead of the volume. And at the bottom, like I mentioned, the headphone jack, which you can put in your headphones when you want to play it. And I think that this Game Boy had a lot of really cool details. On the back of the Game Boy, we have a really cool detail that I pointed out right here, which says 1989 April 4th or 0421, which is actually the day that the Game Boy came out, like it was at first ever released. And right here we have where the battery would normally go for the Game Boy, which is a bunch of little tiles, which I thought was pretty cool. And this Game Boy has a really lot of cool details, and I think it is really realistic comparing it to how the normal Game Boy is. Now I am going to demonstrate how to put in the game cartridges and put in these other two scenes that came within the Lego instead of this one, which is really pretty simple because all you have to do is turn this around. You have to pop this off. There's this lever back here. This keeps the screen being held. All you have to do is pull that off, flip this, take that out, and then you can choose whichever one you want to put in. We're gonna go with the Mario one. All you have to do is pop that in there to the screen, put this lever back up, and then we're gonna pop in this cartridge, which all you have to do is just slide it in and hear it click. Once that is in, all you have to do is put this back on, and there you go. Now you have the game cartridge in, and you can start playing your Game Boy. Another really cool effect that I have is that when you turn it to a slight angle, you can actually see Mario jumping up and down. And now I'm going to show you guys how to put in the other one. And there you have it. Now you have the other screen and the other cartridge inside the Game Boy. You can start playing. I really enjoyed building this Lego Game Boy, and it surprisingly only took me 57 minutes to build it, which is actually not that time consuming. You could probably do it in one sitting like I did. I feel like one thing that you guys have to pay attention when building this Lego Game Boy is that there's a bunch of these long tiles right here. This one says volume, and on the other side this one says contrast, this one says Game Boy, and this one says on and off. There's a bunch of these that come within the bag when building this, and I feel like you guys have to really pay attention to make sure you guys are setting the right one into the build when building this. But besides that, it was really easy, it was fun, and I really enjoyed building the Lego Game Boy. Surprisingly, like I said before, there was only 2 stickers in this Lego set, which is on both of these cartridges, which I was really surprised because the rest are print-ons, such as the Nintendo Game Boy logo right here. This was a print-on. These were print-ons. The speakers right here, this is one piece that is also a print-on. The headphone jack are print-ons. Contrast, volume, extension connector, on and off, battery, the dot matrix with stereo sound, These are all crayons and these are not stickers, which I was really surprised in my opinion, because when I first saw this I thought there would be a lot of stickers and you would have to be careful when putting them on. But surprisingly, no, there was only 2, and I think I really enjoyed that because it was less time consuming than having to set the stickers on the right spot in the right angle to make sure it is not either out of the piece or is messed up, and I really enjoyed that. This Lego set right now is currently being retailed at $60, and I think personally that is a little bit overpriced, and I think that they should have lowered the price with this one to at least $50 or $45. But besides that, it is a really realistic Game Boy, and I really enjoyed building this, and I think you guys should get one because you guys will have fun with it too, especially if you had one while growing up in the 80s and going into the 90s. I think that this is really nostalgic for a lot of Lego builders, especially the adults who used to have one as a kid, and it makes for a great decoration to put anywhere. But besides that, I really enjoyed building this. I had a good time, and I really enjoyed all the details that are included. Thank you guys so much for watching another video, and I had a lot of fun reviewing building this, and I am really glad I got to build this Lego set. And I think that this is overall a 9 out of 10. I felt like there were some key parts that should have been added, such as right here at the top. I feel like Lego should have filled in that spot right there when sliding the on and off button. But besides that, I think that it was really fun building this. Another part that I feel like they should have filled in was the ridges right here and not have it flat, because on the actual Game Boy these ridges keep on going on, and if you can feel it right here, you can probably see it too. This is flat and then it goes up. I felt like they should have fixed that too. But overall, I had a lot of fun building this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.